Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Jan Erickson from Stepping Aside, and welcome to Somewhat Daily Tarot and Rune for the 15th day of January, 2019. Well, if you hear the sound of a rock hammer in the background, it's because our new neighbors are putting in a fence on their property, and it's close to ours. We all have a shared well. It's a 14-home community well, and we've been in existence since the 70s, and so we've never actually fenced that off, and so that whole well area off, and the well and the cistern actually sit on the neighbor's property. Well, the plot of land it's on actually isn't their property, but it sits on their property, so they don't have a full 5 acres, I don't think. With that there. Plus, there's a big easement. So they're finally fencing that off. It should have already been done back when the original owners had it years ago in the 70s, but they didn't. And so our cistern has been, unfortunately, had horses and cows around it and all kinds of things that you really don't want. So we're glad that they're doing it, and so that's a good thing. But unfortunately, we have a lot of rock here, and so they have to use the rock hammer to get through to put their posts in. So that's what, if you hear a weird sound, that's what that is. So apologies, we'll get through this real quick today so we don't have to hear it if it gets to be too much. Well, I just posted a 6-card tarot reading I talked about yesterday using the Heindel deck. I just posted that, and so I'll be posting it around the various places I do that at, different social media sites I put them on, but it's up on the blog if you want to go look at that. I think it turned out pretty well, but then, Heindel gives you a whole lot to work with. His symbolism is just amazing. It's really just a beautiful deck, and so I like to use it whenever I can. And I haven't looked at it in a while, so I felt kind of bad. I love his use of bubbles and rocks and all kinds of things. He has such an ancient, goddess-centered feel to the deck. It's more than what you would think a traditional, like, pagan deck would be. It's just more than that. It's just a beautiful deck. So I really recommend it if you like non-traditional decks like I do. So I thought it turned out well, too. So see what you think. A little bit of hopefulness in this time of strangeness and darkness and lies and deception. And I mean, my God, it's a Tom Clancy novel unfolding before our very eyes. And it's not funny. So there you have it. Let's count 13 and see what we have for today, though. I'm going to get my table in the right spot here, so I've got all my stuff here. Got my runes. I'm going to go ahead today, like I did yesterday, and use the apple runes that I made. I didn't have a chance to stick it in another bag, though, so I may have trouble pulling one out like I did yesterday. So anyhow, let's count 13 and see what we have. Being the 15th day, that's a 6. Well, we had this one yesterday, so I'm going to draw another one. It's the 2, so we're still juggling, okay? Juggling priorities and whatnot. But I'm gonna put that back in the deck. I don't want to take another card like that. But just remember that, okay? That we still maybe have a little bleed over from yesterday where we're juggling some priorities in our lives, trying to make a decision about what we need to do, trying to achieve some balance maybe. If we have, maybe our focus is not on home and hearth, it's on, maybe our financial security, or maybe we're trying to figure out how to make all that happen in the nightmare that a lot of people are experiencing right now. I haven't turned on the news, so I don't know if they've magically opened the government again. Perhaps they have, and if they have, yay. But if not, then you may still need to do some juggling. And that will be impossible for many who live paycheck to paycheck. There's just no money there. They likely don't have any savings, and if they do, it's probably not enough to get them through. So I don't know. It's nutty. Anyhow, let's count 13 again. But if I get the 2 of Pentacles, we're going to go with it. I got the 4 of Pentacles. So here we have, again, our focus is on money. Our focus is in our foundation. We're having to hang on to as much as we can because the guy in the White House isn't doing what he's supposed to do. He doesn't care about the people. He cares only about himself. So therefore, and whatever stupid little mnemonic memory device he used to remember to bash immigrants. So now we're going to build a wall, he thinks. Well, I don't think so. But here you have someone who's hanging on. The king is hanging on to whatever he can because he's basically watching everything he has fall away. He's not getting what he wants. He's about to probably be indicted, so, and likely thrown out of office. So you can see the king is hanging on to everything he has for dear life while he affects our very foundation, right? 4 is about foundation and structure while he does that. So, evidently this is, if you're somebody that, if this isn't the collective thing that's happening to people, maybe this is just indicating that, you're really focused right now. The moon is in Taurus. And so, we're really focused on foundational issues right now. And so, again, check out the blog post I did. You might see some insight there that might make you feel a little better. But I don't know, that's just what the cards said at that moment. So we'll see. Let's do another card though. See if we can firm up what this is. Well, the 7 of Swords, theft of intellectual property is how I usually see this, but we have somebody, people are inside the tents, they, after the battles, they come back to their tents and they party and they relax and they talk about what happened, while you've got this guy who's out there taking things from them while their backs are turned. And that's what's been happening. It's not so much, and this is my concern has always been, okay? It's not so much what we see out in front of us, okay? Because largely, even though that's important to know about, it's largely a distraction over what's been happening behind the scenes. And so when all of this is done and we know what's been going on, it isn't just going to be about what this man has done. It's going to be about what all of his people in the Congress have done behind our backs when we weren't looking. It's like you see, while you were doing something else, this was happening. It's one of those moments. And so while he's hanging on to everything, we're trying to figure out what the heck is at the heart of all of it. Okay? And so a lot of things are going to be coming out. A lot of deception. Okay? A lot, maybe theft. If the rumors of money laundering are true, that's theft. So I don't know. Maybe we're still in this greater focus, unless you've got something like this happening in your life personally. I know they want to remake the court. I know they want to do away with abortion. I know they want to have their brand of Christianity basically govern everybody, and we're all supposed to live underneath that. Well, no, that's not going to happen. And they also want to take your health care away. They want to view everybody as the enemy. So you see, there's a very negative us versus them, oppressive focus that you would think wouldn't be there, but it is. And so that's what we have playing out right now. Protections for environment, protections on mercury going into the air, environmental stuff. It's all being destroyed. All of this stuff that was there to try to protect the environment, and not just the environment, but in turn us, that's all going away. So it's all been, with a stroke of a pen, he remade the world, basically. And unfortunately, none of it was done in a way that makes any sense. It's like, oh, we can't have regulation, it bothers business. But we also can't have big business polluting the air and polluting the water, can we? I mean, do we really want that? This isn't about government making us into the nanny state. It's about intelligent people telling business people that are greedy, no, You can't do that. It'd be the same as I guess we're just supposed to let our children run amok and play with knives and play with guns and play with this and play with everything that could hurt them. No, there's an adult hopefully present that says, no, 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 don't do that. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't, as every mother knows, that doesn't end when your kids turn 18 or 21. You know, we're all in a learning process and not everybody learns. And if you happen to be somebody that is in a position of authority, say as a maybe a corporation owner who can make decisions that harm the world, well, you need a government to step in and say no. That's a good thing. That's something you want government to do. Now I realize we don't want them to do other things, but we want them at least there to do that, to protect us from the stupidity and greed of other people. All right? Well, manas, the rune of humanity. Vunyo, you can see Vunyo forward and reversed. Harmony, integration, you see in the middle, you see Gebo, which is balanced energy exchange with others. Also, you see Dagaz, which is enlightenment, you know, and a new day. So, you know, plus it's the 20th rune of the Elder Futhark. So you're looking at balance. Again, balanced energy exchange in the center there. Harmonious, balanced energy exchange. This is us in society. This is a society rune. So clearly, this is not just simply, well, it's who we are in society. So it can be an individual rune, you know, it can center on that. But it's really a greater focus, isn't it? And how we're able to come together in balanced energy exchange with others. You know, if you have a king or a person in authority who's doing this and hanging on to everything he has at the expense of the kingdom, well, that's not going to work. And if you have people doing things behind the scenes while he does it, that's also not going to work, is it? I don't think so. But I'm going to look here. Yeah, it's what it is to be human. It's a thought rune to increase intelligence. It's an earth element rune. So it's already about our foundations, about mankind, the fragility of mankind, the fragility of our partnership together in this experiment that we're all involved in. All right? It's about being balanced with one another. It's about being in harmony. It's about understanding that this is greater than just the individual, that it's about what's going to happen for all of us, how our lives will be collectively influenced by this guy, right? So I think that we're finding that, you know, I think we're farther enough along now into the investigation that whatever it is we're hearing that we're also concerned about, it's likely true. So, or somewhere in there, there's some truth. So, I think that we just need to focus on what is best for all of us. You know, what is the greater good? What will serve the greater good? And are we ready to know the truth of all of this? We're not going to have a choice, actually. They're going to tell us when they're ready. And more and more is coming out. And now you have people saying that he's a clear and present danger to the country, people that are in a position to know. A former high-ranking counterintelligence guy just said something yesterday that, and I'll butcher it, I'm sure, but now is the time for all good men to act, or something to that effect. It's a saying, it's a quote from, I don't know who said it, but he may be right. You know, it's time for people who haven't stood up or spoken up to do so. Particularly if they're in the government, if they're serving in the government, they need to stand up and speak up and say no more, and end the shutdown and stop this devastation on people's lives. So there you have it. I think that we're still in this mode, unfortunately, for a little while longer. but there is going to be an end to this. I don't think it's going to be the one that Donald and his family are going to like, however. So anyhow, check out the blog post. I think I'm actually really proud of it. Actually, I think I did pretty well on it. I hope you like it if you read it. I hope it resonates for you. I hope you see from it that maybe we have a way out of this and there is a way forward. So I won't say any more about that, though, without giving it away. Anyhow, thanks so much for coming by. If this is your first time here, welcome. Click subscribe. I'd love you to do that. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate everyone who comes every day and spends this time and thinks about how energy affects you and how you can make it work for you. So I think I also have to do a lunar transits thing today, another one. So anyhow, I got to do that one as well today. So anyhow, again, thanks so much for stopping by. I'll see you tomorrow, and be good to yourself, be good to one another, and blessed be.